Welcome to Nations of the World, where we uncover the rich history, breathtaking landscapes, and vibrant cultures that shape our planet. Today we journey to Peru, a land of ancient legends and timeless wonders. Did you know that Peru is home to the Amazon rainforest and the world's highest sand dune? If you love exploring the world from your screen, hit like, subscribe, and tell us which country you'd like to see next. High in the Andes, where the sun kisses the peaks, the sun god Inti sent his children, Manco, Cápac, and Mama Oclo, to guide humanity. Emerging from Lake Titicaca with a golden staff, they founded Cusco, the navel of the world. But Peru's story stretches far beyond the Inca Empire. Stay with me to discover its deep history, breathtaking landscapes, and rich culture that have endured for centuries. How much do you remember from our last episode on Papua New Guinea? Stay until the end and test your knowledge with our little quiz. Peru lies in Western South America. It shares borders with Ecuador and Colombia to the north, Brazil to the east, Bolivia to the southeast, and Chile to the south. It spans 496,000 square miles, 1.28 million square kilometers, a land of stark contrasts. To the west, the Pacific Ocean crashes against the arid coastline, while to the east, the Amazon rainforest swells with life, covering nearly 60% of the country. But the heart of Peru beats in the towering Andes Mountains, home to the mighty Machu Picchu. This architectural marvel, hidden for centuries, still captivates the world. The Andes stretch like a spine down the country, with peaks that rise over 20,000 feet, 6,000 meters. But that's not all. Peru boasts the deepest canyon on Earth, Colca Canyon, twice as deep as the Grand Canyon. Further south, Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake in the world at 12,500 feet above sea level, has witnessed countless civilizations. And the Nazca lines, those enormous and mysterious figures etched into the desert, are a wonder that continues to baffle archaeologists. In contrast, Lima, the vibrant capital, stands at the intersection of desert and sea, hosting over 9 million people. Peru's population of 34 million reflects its vast diversity. Mountain communities, coastal villages, and bustling cities all contribute to this incredible nation. Peru's landscapes shaped its history, and no civilization mastered them like the Incas. From Cusco, the heart of their empire, they built a legacy that still stands today. Let's uncover the rise of the Inca Empire. The mighty lords of the mountains created a civilization unlike any other. Their empire, known as Tawantinsuyu, stretched across the rugged Andean peaks and down into the lush valleys, encompassing vast lands from what is now southern Colombia to northern Chile. Their society was built upon advanced agricultural techniques, with terraces carved into the mountainsides, allowing them to grow crops at varying altitudes. At the heart of their empire lay the concept of Ayu, a system of communal living that emphasized collective work, shared resources, and social responsibility. This structure formed the backbone of Inca society, uniting people into extended families or groups that worked together to maintain their lands and temples. The Incas were extraordinary engineers, creating awe-inspiring structures, from terraced farms to the Cápac, a vast network of roads that traversed mountains, deserts, and forests, stretching over 25,000 miles, 40,000 kilometers. And connecting their entire empire across the rugged Andean landscape. Machu Picchu, their most famous city, is a testament to their architectural prowess, nestled high in the Andes with breathtaking views that still mystify visitors today. Their knowledge of astronomy and timekeeping was advanced, and they built sacred sites that aligned with the sun and stars, reflecting a deep understanding of the natural world. Religion played a central role in Inca life, with the sun god, Inti, being their supreme deity, with grand temples like the Golden Coricancha. Rulers were believed to be the direct descendants of the sun, and they governed not only with power, but also with divine authority. Their ceremonies, often held atop mountains, were meant to honor the gods and ensure the prosperity of the empire. The Inca legacy endures through the language, culture, and breathtaking engineering feats that still inspire awe today. The Incas also developed the quipu, a unique system of knotted strings used for record-keeping and communication. Their architectural prowess is evident in structures like Sacsayhuaman, a fortress with walls made of massive stones precisely cut to fit together without mortar. They also practiced mummification, preserving their dead with great care, reflecting their beliefs in the afterlife. But even the mighty Inca Empire was not invincible. A storm was brewing on the horizon, one that would shake the Andes to their core. In the next chapter, we unravel the dramatic fall of the Incas and the clash that changed Peru forever. Bam! Long before the Incas, the Carol civilization flourished in Peru over 5,000 years ago, older than the pyramids of Egypt. These early Peruvians were builders, creating monumental structures and advancing agriculture. The Carol people are credited as one of the earliest urban civilizations in the Americas, with advanced knowledge of agriculture, astronomy, and trade. As we've already discussed, the Nazca people also left their mark on history with the mysterious Nazca lines. These lines, which can only be fully appreciated from the sky, were likely used in religious ceremonies, making them an integral part of Peru's ancient history. But the real turning point came in 1532, when the Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro arrived in the Andes. Pizarro, with just 168 men, captured the Inca Emperor Atahualpa after a brutal confrontation. Atahualpa was executed and the Spanish plundered Cusco. Legend has it that the vast fortune of Atahualpa, the gold he offered in ransom, was never recovered. Some say it's cursed, hidden deep in the mountains, waiting to be discovered. The fall of the Inca Empire did not happen overnight. Even after the capture of Atahualpa, resistance continued deep in the Andes. The last Inca ruler, Tupac Amaru, led the final stronghold in Vilcabamba until he was captured and executed by the Spanish in 1572, marking the end of the empire. But the spirit of defiance lived on. In 1780, Tupac Amaru II, claiming descent from the Inca rulers, led a massive indigenous rebellion against Spanish rule. Though he was ultimately captured and brutally executed, his uprising planted the seeds of independence, inspiring future generations to reclaim Peru's sovereignty. In the wake of the conquest, Peru fell under Spanish rule for nearly 300 years, during which time much of the indigenous population was decimated by disease and forced labor. The Spanish imposed their culture and religion. The quest for independence began in the early 19th century, with José de San Martin leading the fight in 1821. His declaration of independence was followed by Simón Bolívar's victory in the Battle of Ayacucho in 1824, which secured Peru's freedom from Spanish colonial rule. But the road to stability was bumpy. In the late 1800s, Peru was embroiled in the War of the Pacific from 1879 to 1883 against Chile, Bolivia, and Ecuador. While Peru suffered defeat, the conflict marked a significant moment in its national identity. The 20th century saw periods of political instability, including the rise of the Shining Path, a Maoist guerrilla group that sought to overthrow the government in the 1980s. The group's violent actions created widespread fear, but it was ultimately defeated by the Peruvian military. Peru's economy grew significantly in the late 1990s and early 2000s, particularly due to mining and agricultural exports. The name Peru itself comes from Biru, an indigenous ruler symbolizing a land rich in history and resilience. This land of ancient empires, colonial conquest, and modern perseverance continues to shape the global narrative. Peru's flag, red for the bloodshed in the fight for independence and white for peace, proudly flies high. But did you know that Peru has multiple versions of its flag? The civil flag, with its bold red and white stripes, is used by the public. The state flag, flown by government institutions, bears the national coat of arms, symbolizing Peru's natural riches and heritage. Meanwhile, the war flag, carried by the military, features a laurel wreath around the emblem representing honor and victory. Alongside the flag, the vicuna, a graceful and elusive relative of the llama, symbolizes wealth and elegance, as its fine wool was once reserved for Inca royalty. The sacred cantuta flower, blooming in vibrant red and yellow, embodies the unity of the Andean people. Known as the sacred flower of the Incas, it was used in religious ceremonies and offerings to the gods. The melancholic melodies of the zampona, or pan flute, echo through the Andes, a musical tradition passed down from the time of the Incas. Crafted from bamboo or reed, this iconic instrument captures the soul of Peruvian folklore, filling festivals and mountain valleys with its haunting, wind-like harmonies. These symbols, though simple in form, capture the spirit of a nation that has long held its traditions while embracing modernity. Today, Peru is one of the world's largest producers of copper, which plays a central role in its economy. Agriculture is another pillar of the nation's prosperity. Peru is the birthplace of the potato, and the quinoa boom has also brought attention to its fertile valleys. Peru is the world's largest exporter of quinoa, but perhaps Peru's most beloved contribution to the world is its cuisine. Dishes like ceviche, fresh fish marinated in citrus juices, and lomo saltado, a fusion of Chinese and Peruvian flavors, showcase the nation's rich cultural diversity. The culinary sector contributes significantly to tourism, attracting millions of visitors annually. Peru's food is a blend of history, heritage, and innovation, earning it the title of gastronomic capital of the Americas. The food industry alone generates billions in revenue each year. In Peru, Spanish is the dominant language, spoken by approximately 84% of the population. However, the indigenous languages of Quechua and Aymara continue to thrive, especially in rural Andean communities, with Quechua being spoken by about 13% and Aymara by 2%. These languages carry the wisdom of thousands of years of Andean culture and heritage. Religion plays a significant role in Peruvian life, with Catholicism being the predominant faith. Catholicism, introduced by the Spanish in the 16th century, remains the most widely practiced faith, with about 76% of Peruvians identifying as Catholic. Yet indigenous traditions, like the worship of Pachamama, Mother Earth, remain vital in many regions, blending with Catholic practices to create a unique spiritual experience. As we wrap up our journey through Peru, here's your challenge. From our Papua New Guinea episode, which indigenous group in Papua New Guinea is famous for their elaborate wigs made from their own hair? Comment below, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the Peruvian treasure legends. Stay tuned for more episodes in Nations of the World. Like, subscribe, and share your requests for countries you'd like to see covered next.